So first question, how long does it take to have footballers' stamina? So it kind of depends the level that you're currently starting at. So you might be injured, coming back from injury. It might be off season, so you're coming back from an off season into pre-season. Depends where you're currently starting, but in terms of training stamina, the best things you want to be doing and making sure it's that the sessions are intense. So not so much going on long runs, but more like interval training. So you're changing the intensities. You're basically trying to mimic the match as much as you can in your training in terms of your rest periods and the intensity that you're going to be working at. Because it's more about being able to repeat your sprints and repeat them for 90 minutes than being able to just run at one pace and sustain that, which is where a lot of sort of players go wrong in terms of their stamina training for football. Cool. Any more questions, guys? Whack them in. All right, next question. How to improve change in pace? So this is more to do with explosiveness and acceleration. So there's a few things which come into speed training. The first one is your strength training, because strength is really, it's the foundation of your speed and your power. So the more strength you have, the more force you can produce. And if you can apply that force at speed to the floor, or to the ground, then you're going to be faster on the pitch. That's the first thing, having a good level of strength. The second thing is your mechanics. So if you've got efficient movement mechanics, then you're going to be a more sort of fluid mover, and you're going to be faster at moving in any direction. We've also got reaction times in there as well. So if you can improve your reactions, even if you've got a player who's slightly faster at you, say in like just a race over 50 meters, if you're quicker at reacting, that means you're going to get a head start, means that you might get to the ball first. Okay, so literally just practicing your sprinting will definitely help over short distances, 5, 10, 15 meters. Also plyometric training as well, which is going to improve, it's basically going to improve the structure around your ankle, and something called the stretch shortening cycle. So that's basically increasing the stiffness in your ankle so that you've got more explosiveness when you contact the ground and try and push off again. If that's if it's too mobile and too flexible, then you're going to lack explosiveness. And if it's too tight, that's also going to hinder you as well. So plyometrics are really going to help you in terms of your explosiveness too. Hope that answer helps you. Okay, next one. Nathan, good to hear that you got our nutrition program. Glad you're enjoying that, mate. Hope you started applying the stuff that we've taught you in there. Okay. How to get rid of posterior shin pain? So do you mean, Jordan, do you mean like shin splints? Is that what you're referring to? We've actually got a blog on our website which gives you a guide to shin splints and why they actually occur and how to deal with treating those as well. So check that out, www.matchfitcondition.com, then click on the blog, or you can even just go to the search bar right at the top, type in shin splints, and find the answer there. Do I play soccer myself professionally? No, I don't play anymore. I stopped playing about 2 years ago. Basically, so I could go full time with Matchfit and more focused on strength and conditioning. I did play from the age of 9 until about 18 at Wycombe Wanderers. If you're not from England, that's a professional club over here in England. At the time, they were in the equivalent of League One. And then, if you don't know much about me, you can have a look more on our website in the About section. But one that I actually got an injury as well, which put me out for 4 years. Managed to come back from that and went on to play semi-professionally for a couple of years before I decided to focus 100% on Matchfit. Cool. Right. Hope that helps. Next question. Let's have a look. Right. Question from Facebook. What do you need to work on to not get knocked off the ball? Right. We've got a good answer on this one, actually, Evan, in the Matchfit Academy. So as I said, you can click that link there and access that answer for free. But there's a few things that come down to it. Obviously, one's balance. Second one is how aggressive you are. And third one is your upper body strength and your core strength, so that you can withstand someone sort of running into you. You can stand your ground and hold them off. So strength, aggressiveness, and what was the other one I said? And balance as well. Having a good center of gravity, so you can sort of be in the right body position to lower your center of gravity slightly, so you're harder to push off the ball. Question from Alex: what exercises, both gym and body weight, are key to building a good physique for footballers? Well, really, if you're just starting, you want to start with body weight exercises, because you want to basically, the wider the base of fitness you can build, then the higher your peak's going to be. So you can really squeeze as much as you possibly can out of the most basic body weight exercises before progressing, then you're going to get more bang for your buck out of every exercise that you do. So stick to the key combat exercises to start with before going on to the sort of fancier, sexier exercises, because if you move on to those too early, you're going to diminish the results that you get from those. So things like just the basic squats, your press ups. If you've got some dumbbells, you can just do a deadlift movement as well. All those basic compound movements, even you can just Google those and they'll come up straight away. If you need more guidance on our website, go to the free workout section and you'll see a few workouts in there which will help you. Cool, right, next question. Do you think altitude masks are good? It's a good question, it's a common one. Again, I've actually got a full article answering this one on our website, on the blog. So just go to our website, matchfitcondition.com, type in altitude masks, and you'll find the answer there. Just to give you an insight in here though, it always depends what you're really using it for. So when they're advertised as altitude masks, that's quite misleading, because most people think that that's referring to actual sort of changes in the blood that when athletes go and train at altitude, they're training so that there's a change in the hemoglobin levels in their blood. So it's easier to do endurance exercise when they go back down to sea level. But there's also a sort of restricted, there's a restriction on your breathing as well when you're at altitude. So you actually your lungs have to work harder to get the air in. So that's really what altitude masks are mimicking. There's definitely no need for beginners to be using things like this, unless you've got the psychology side of them as well. So if just by having an altitude mask on, you actually feel that you're more in the zone when you're training, then that might be a reason to wear it. But I wouldn't put one on an athlete when I'm training them, just because for most of the sessions I do, there'd be no real need for that. But check out that blog article on our website. That'll give you a more detailed answer. Okay. Thanks a lot, Armand. I'm glad that you're following our program. Have you got are you following the full season one or just one of the individual ones? Post again, let me know. Let's have a look here. Next question. What should a defender work on the most? Again, it's another common question referring to sort of position-specific training. I've got there's an episode on our podcast about basically why people sort of get too obsessed with position-specific training. So it really comes down to what you as an individual need. Of course, defenders, they might do, it depends on your style of play as well. So you've got people like David Luiz who play centre-back, which might have a different style to someone like Jamie Carragher. So they might need to work on different things to get the most out of their playing style. But generally, all positions, you're going to need to work on your strength, your speed, your stamina, your mobility. But in what amounts that you do that is dependent on you and your playing style and your level of fitness at the time. It's not so much on whether you're a defender or a midfielder. I hope that helps. But have a listen to that podcast. I think you'll find that really helpful. Okay. Okay, I've got tryouts this summer and my fitness deteriorated, so the pre-season will be helpful. So our pre-season program is 10 weeks long, and that is designed to be done before you go back to your team training sessions. If you haven't got that much time, that's fine. You can still mold it around your team sessions by skipping a few of the pre-season workouts and replacing those with your team sessions. But yeah, obviously it's really going to help. The reason it's 10 weeks is because you want a gradual increase in fitness, so to decrease the chance of you getting injured and to allow the rest and recovery time for the adaptations to occur. So if you try and, a lot of players try and smash themselves in a couple of weeks before they go back to pre-season, and before you know it, they end up getting injured at the start of the season because they've done too much too soon instead of letting it gradually increase and allowing the time to train so that you can have those adaptations occur safely and so that you actually improve your performance without increasing your risk of injury. So Armin's got the in-season nutrition, speed, stamina, fat burn, body condition, and endurance. Wicked, nice one, mate. So keep an eye on your inbox tomorrow or Wednesday because there's an update of the in-season program coming out. So I think you'll enjoy that. So make sure it'll be automatically sent into your inbox. So keep your eyes peeled on that because it might go into your junk folder. So have a look. It'll come either tomorrow or Wednesday, as I say. So it's a good improvement to the in-season program. It just makes it a little bit easier to use in terms of the navigation through it. Am I good at football? I guess that's down to opinion. I played at a good level, so I hope I'm all right. Obviously, someone thinks I'm okay. Are slow jogs good to burn fat? Really, as a footballer, you want to be trying to manipulate your training so that it's going to transfer best onto the football pitch. So is a slow jog going to achieve that? Can you kill two birds with one stone and burn more fat whilst improving your fitness on the football pitch? If you say you're off season or you're injured, going for a slow jog might be a good idea if that's the only thing you can do. But really the best way to burn fat is to manipulate your nutrition, okay? And also you can do certain workouts which will increase the fat burning effect, but sometimes the issue with that is that you work so hard that you get really hungry and then you sort of just stuff your face afterwards, which is sort of counterintuitive of doing the workout at all. So really the key to fat loss is getting your nutrition right. And it really is just a case of if you're consuming too many calories so that you're burning, then eventually over time you're going to put on fat. So to lose fat, I would look at your diet, make sure that your macros are on point, so you get enough protein, not too many carbs, but enough carbs because that's your fuel for football performance, and obviously some healthy fats in there as well. Check out our nutrition guide, that help you. So that's really the first thing to do, check out your nutrition, but really slow jogs you want to try and avoid unless you're injured because it's not going to have as good a transfer over onto the football pitch. Right, let's have a look. Okay. I've got a foot injury and I'm wondering what a good bike workout to do to maintain and increase fitness. All right, so we've actually got some suggestions of workouts you can do on the bike in Matchfit Academy. After this live, check out the stories and I'll put on a free trial in there so you can go and check out that answer for free and get access to it. But really, in a nutshell, it's about mimicking the rest times and the intensity that you would in a match. So, but check out that lesson. It's in a lot more detail. You can check out for free. So make sure you check out the story after this live session. I'll post it out there for you. Cool. Question from Nathan. Have I had any major setbacks before? Yeah, I've had a lot of major setbacks. The main one, as I said, if you weren't tuned in earlier, you might have missed it. I don't really like to sort of dwell on injuries, but I was out for 4 years. It's actually a very common football injury, but it's quite hard to diagnose. And for that reason, it can become a real issue. But so my injury is femoral acetabular impingement. So what that basically is that you've got your hip joint. If I can show that, yeah, there we go, hip joint, and then you've got the ball of the femur which goes into there, And then an impingement is when the cartilage is worn down inside the hip, and then you get bits of bone growing down the side and bits of bone growing on this bit as well, so that basically the range of movement is limited because it's called an impingement, basically. So I had that, and the problem with that is that you can't really work with that, because one, it causes pain because of the rubbing and there's inflammation, and two, you can have an operation, but you don't really want to have an operation on your hips at an early age, because then you're going to have to keep having repeat surgery for the rest of your life. Then really you want to sort of keep your natural hips for as long as you possibly can. But along with that, I also had a tear in the labrum. So the labrum it's like it sort of surrounds the capsule, and I had a tear in there as well, which can come from the impingement, and that basically increases the swelling and makes it a little bit more painful. And then that led, because I kept playing, this is what a lot of players do, and in my emails I sort of try and get this message across to you, that if you've got an injury, you need to get it sorted. Because what I did is I kept playing on it, and the inflammation got worse, the labral tear got worse, and then it led to osteoarthritis, which makes the pain even worse. So eventually I was out for 4 years, and I was told I would never play football again, to be honest. And because of what it is, it's not like a muscle strain, you can't really do anything to get around it. But that's really how I discovered strength and conditioning, and really got into that because I followed a program that I designed, and lots of mobility and strength work in there. And over time, I managed to get back to a place where I could train completely pain-free, and ended up playing semi-professionally again, having previously been a youth player at a club called Wycombe Wanderers in England. I was there from when I was 9 till I was 18, and then got this injury when I was 19, out for 4 years, and had to obviously look at different things because I didn't think I'd be able to play football again, but eventually actually managed to get back and do it. But yeah, that's sort of a very long-winded answer. If you want a better one, subscribe to our email list, and sort of teach you a few lessons of the setbacks that I've had over the time that hopefully you can learn from too. And all of that experience it's actually been quite beneficial, because I can apply it to the programs, and just helps me sort of relate better with you guys, because I've had a lot of the injuries as a consequence of that, which you guys might be suffering with now. So when I did actually try and keep playing, for example, I would very easily pull my hamstring, then my quad would tear, groin injuries. It was sort of one thing after the other. So yeah, I've had a few setbacks in a nutshell, yeah. Cool. Next question. Hey, I recently suffered from heavy legs right after 40 minutes of training. I used to stop my sprint training in your program because of heavy legs. Okay, right. So the first point is that the point of any program is to improve your performance in team sessions and ultimately in matches. So if your extra training isn't doing that, then you've done the right thing to stop and try and assess what's going wrong. It's hard for me to say just over sort of online, but it could be down to your nutrition and just your level of muscular endurance, and also your recovery as well. Maybe you're doing too much and you need some extra rest time in there to adapt and recover, so that you then come back fitter and you're not as tired when you're doing that sprint training. Yeah, and also your recovery methods as well. So are you getting nutrition right straight after your training sessions? Are you doing everything you can to recover optimally after your training sessions? So again, check out our blog. There's lots of articles on recovery methods in there, including cold baths, contrast baths. What else have we got in there? What to eat after training and team sessions. Have a look through our blog. I can't remember everything off the top of my head that's in there now, but the stuff in there will definitely help you. How to get rid of pain in your body when you wake up. You're going to have to be a little bit more specific. Whereabouts is the pain, or is it just general aching all over? Again, that's down to you're not going to get rid of it completely, but it's really down to what you're doing after your training. So in terms of nutrition, refueling, and how much sleep and recovery time you're getting as well. You might just need a way. So if you have a cool bath, for example, that might numb some of that pain so that you feel better when you wake up in the morning. How to recover from hamstring injury? Good question, very common one. Check out our blog again. I think on our Instagram TV, we've actually got a hamstring injury rehab lesson. It's either on there or YouTube. Have a look at that. But that'll really help you. Saves me answering it here because you've got the whole answer there. So it's either it's definitely on our blog, but you might also get an audio answer on Instagram TV or YouTube. Might be on there as well. Cool. Okay. I play as a box-to-box midfielder. I want to be an engine. Sometimes after pressing hard on the defence, when I get the ball, I don't have the energy to make something happen. Cool. How can I work on this? So that's really just going to be working on your fitness, and it takes, it's not going to be an overnight thing. There's no magic pill. It's just going to be a gradual progression over time. The more matches you play, you're going to increase your level of match fitness. The key time to really work on this is during the off season when you've got more time to recover. During the season, it's really hard to make gains in fitness around all your team sessions and matches. You're really just looking to maintain and sort of optimize your current fitness levels so that you're still playing to a high level and keep a good level of conditioning. But that might be down to carbohydrates not getting enough carbs in before, not getting enough carbs in before your matches as well, because that's going to be your main fuel source for doing those repeated sprints. But it's definitely a common thing, being out of breath by the time you get back on the ball, which is why you've got to admire those guys playing in the Premier League and international level who can do it a few matches in the same week, because they're just so highly conditioned that they're able to play at that level. But the reason, or the fact is that it takes years of repeated training, recovery time, adaptation, training, recovery time, adaptation, years of that cycle to get up to that fitness level. So really, the quicker you can start that, the better. But we've actually got a stamina program on our website that's designed to be done during the season. And it's really sort of the minimum effective dose of stamina training that we give you to create the adaptation that you're looking for. You need to make sure you're getting enough recovery time in there as well. But check that out. Look at the reviews. It's helped thousands of players around the world. It's really getting the basics right, making it very easy for you to stick to, making it very simple to follow, and it gets results as well. So have a look at that one. Okay. Gym or calisthenics for footballers? Good question. Really both. You can't just rely on calisthenics really, because you need to sometimes be adding the load to depending on what you're working on. So if you want to increase your max strength, you're not necessarily going to be able to do that in the way that you want to with just calisthenics. And it might just be easier, more convenient to go in a gym and do that. Depends also what you want to do. Obviously, start with body weight exercises. If you're a beginner, squeeze everything you can out of those, and then earn the right to regress once you've done your body weight training. But that's really for beginners. But you could be a beginner even if you're sort of 25. Your training age is different from the level that you're playing at as a footballer. So you could be playing for Barcelona and be 19 and have played there at that level for the last 10 years, at that sort of elite level for your age. But if you've never set foot in a gym or done any strength training, your training age is 0. So you need to start with the most basic things in the gym, because if you don't, you're actually going to diminish the results you get from using the sexier exercises further down the line. Okay, usually happens on the end of both halves. Yeah, so that sounds to me like, obviously maybe it's increasing your match fitness a little bit, but also your carbohydrates. So maybe even just a simple trick, just by putting a drink close to the sideline, so you can an isotonic drink, so you can get a swig of that whenever the ball goes out, or even in the goalkeeper's in the goal mouth. So if it goes out for a corner, get a swig then. Keep your carbohydrates topped up, maybe, or try it out. That should help. Also your half-time nutrition as well. If you need more guidance to that, check out our nutrition guide. Click the link in our profile on Instagram, and you can get it for £2 instead of $19.99. And you've got your pre-match, half-time, and post-match nutrition, and how to make your own isotonic drinks taken care of in there as well. So check that out, mate. That'll definitely help you. Training maximum force for transform it to explosiveness, explosive force or not. Right, so if I just try and decode that a little bit, if you're trying to aim for improvements in explosiveness, you need to be doing exercises which, sort of, what's the word I'm looking for? Exercises which make you do the exercise with maximum intent, because that's then going to have a better carryover. So for example, if you're doing something like a box jump, then it's maximum intent that you have to put into it, because if you don't, you're not going to reach the top of the box. Say if you did something like what else could we think of? A depth jump. So if you did a depth jump when you're then jumping to clear another box, that's intent as well. So you have to put the power into the ground to make sure you clear the box. Otherwise, you're not going to clear it. You might end up injuring yourself. So exercises that force you to train with maximum intent are going to have the best carryover in terms of explosiveness onto the football pitch. Right, we'll go for a couple more minutes here, guys. Let me just check Facebook, so if you've got any more questions. None there at the moment. Okay. How to improve confidence when going for a header in the box, playing against players bigger than you? It's really a psychological thing that, of course, you need to make sure you're in the right position, practicing headers. What I used to do, because I was a centre back, obviously a lot of the time involves a lot of heading, is after training, used to grab one of the other centre backs. Someone would serve the ball up, and I'd have to practice coming over the other defender, who was also good in the air, and winning the ball. And just by doing that, it increases your confidence going up for headers. I've actually had a problem with that when I think I was 7 or 8. And basically I was playing at a tournament. It was only a 7-a-side tournament, and I went up for a header, and someone's stud from their boot. I went up for a header, they went up with their foot. Their stud went straight through my lip. I don't know if you can see, there's a scar just there. And I had a hole there. And that really sort of dented my confidence, obviously, because I wasn't too keen for going up to headers after that happened. But it's really a case of you need to just practice it. Sometimes you might get hurt playing football. It's just the fact you're playing a sport, you might get hurt. So, and if you act more confident when you're going up for it, chances are the striker is actually going to duck out of it, because you should be more dominant. So it's a lot down to psychology and just practicing. Hope that helps. Are there any teams, for me to contact for a trial in the UK? What I would do is, they have trial days. These different companies run trial days. So just Google football trials UK, and you'll definitely find something there, and then you can apply and go to the next trial day, and they get scouts and people along to have a look at you. Right, last couple of questions. Is training on the sand helpful for explosiveness? That's a good question. I would only do that with someone who's got the most out of training on a stable surface first, and they're very advanced and they're looking to break through a plateau in terms of their explosiveness. It also depends what you're doing, but if the sand's obviously going to make it less stable, so you do have to put more, maybe it forces you to put more effort into the floor to generate that speed, but there's no need to be doing that until you've got the most bang for your buck out of the more basic explosive exercises, just using a stable surface. Okay. Can I do the pre-season program in less than 90 days? Because I'm running out of time before the season starts. Yeah, so the pre-season program is it's 70 days long, so you'll have an extra 20 days there to work with. So you can definitely do that. How can I recover from a groin injury? As I said, I'm going to put on a link to the Matchfit Academy after this. There's a whole lesson in there on recovering from groin injuries. So groin injury rehab, check that one out. That'll really help you. Is it realistic to work up in the leagues in the English football system? Like, I'm playing for Verwood now and I'm 16. Do you think it's realistic to work my way up? Yeah, I mean, if you're good enough, you're always going to get noticed. You don't necessarily have to have your heart set on an English team. You could look abroad as well. But the most important thing really is that you're enjoying where you're playing, because then that's going to get the most out of you as a player. So that's the thing, the best thing first and foremost. And it's definitely possible. I can't say it's not possible. I can't say that it is going to happen. But you look at all the players who have played in the lower leagues and have eventually made it up to playing for England and in the Premier League as well. It's definitely possible. You've got players like Jamie Vardy, but you need to make sure that if that opportunity comes to play at a high level, that you're ready. So I'm guessing because you're following us, you're already taking your fitness pretty seriously, which is good, because what happens to a lot of players, and it's frustrating, is that technically players can be very good and they can be good enough to play at a high level, but once they get there, their technical ability can't really shine on the pitch because the pace is higher and it's more physical and they can't keep up. So you need to make sure you're in the best condition possible, along with keeping your technical side of your game up to scratch, to really, when that opportunity comes, take it with both hands. How can I recover from ankle injury? Again, that's in the Matchfit Academy. Check out the stories after this live session, and you'll be able to check out the answer there, because I'm going to put a free trial to the Matchfit Academy after this live. All right, last one. Let's see, what's the best question? All right. After the off season, should I start with the fat burn or pre-season program? After the off season program, after the off season, start with the pre-season one after your off season, definitely. Unless you're a completely beginner, then do 4 weeks of the fat burn program first, because that's body weight, and then progress onto the pre-season one. Always seems to get cramp at around 80 minutes and I have to come off. Can I prevent this? Yeah, there's definitely some techniques you can implement to do that. Again, the answer is in the Matchfit Academy. I'm going to post a link after this so you can get in there for free and get access to that answer. All right. We sign up through your website to get it in our email box. So yeah, any of our programs that you purchase go straight to your email inbox. If you want to join our email list to receive our email tips to your inbox, the best thing to do is go to our blog. Down the bottom of the blogs, you'll see an image about a free training course. So click on that, sign up to the course, and then your email will be added to our list and you'll start receiving our daily tips via email. Cool. Right. So guys, I'm out of time. I've got a dash. Thanks for tuning in. I hope you find that helpful. As I said, if you're on Facebook, then, oh, sorry, I've missed some questions in the Facebook group. Right. Sorry, I'm just going to answer one more because we've got a question in the Facebook group that I missed. So I just wanted to hear your valuable opinion in regards to training in Ramadan. I've just started the pre-season program and Ramadan starts exactly in a month. So I'll probably be fasting for 15 hours. Any insight from you in regards to nutrition and scheduling training is highly appreciated. Cool. So Sean, who takes care of the nutrition side of performance, he has already recorded an answer about Ramadan, and I just need to upload it to the academy. So I'll do that later tonight or tomorrow. And he's going to basically cover how you should be fueling yourself during Ramadan so that you can still get the most, so you still get the most out of your training. Evan, do I get emailed when I join the Matchfit Academy? Yeah, when you join the Matchfit Academy, you should get an email straight away just confirming that you've joined. If there's any issues, just email our team, info@matchfitcondition.com. We'll get back to you as soon as possible, definitely within 24 hours. All right. So if you've got any more questions, I'll try and do another live. Hope you enjoyed this, guys. Sean and Yanni are actually going to start doing some lives as well. So you'll have Sean, obviously, he's an expert in nutrition. Yanni's also another strength and conditioning coach too. So we're going to do this a bit more regularly. But I see a lot of the same questions coming in all the time, really. And as I said, a lot of the answers are already on our website and our blog. We answer them every day inside the Facebook group pages, Matchfit Player Community and Matchfit Coach Community. Search those on Facebook and request to join if you want to jump in there, because we've got players asking questions every day and we always answer them every day, and also in the academy as well. So yeah, I've got to dash off now, guys. Just got a workout to do, but I hope you enjoyed that. Keep your eyes peeled on the story I'm about to post on Instagram, because I'm going to share that free trial link to the academy in there as well. All right, cool. Right, thanks for tuning in, and I'll let you know, check out the stories still, and I'll keep you updated about when the next live session is so you can tune in and have a listen to that. All right, cheers, guys.